Good afternoon. It is time once again for the annual Resident Satisfaction Survey. We want to take a few minutes and help those residents who may have not seen their survey before or provide some direction on how to complete the survey. The purpose of the annual survey is to gather your opinions, comments, and suggestions to assist us in improving the lifestyle here at John Knox Village. Your responses are anonymous. You have the option of leaving your name, your phone number, your address, or your email if you'd like, but it is optional. Through your feedback, we gain a clear understanding of what is important to you, as well as an idea of how we're doing. We strive to provide the most enjoyable and comfortable living experience that surpasses in terms of quality and excellence. At the end of the survey, you will have an opportunity to leave some comments and suggestions. Your comments and suggestions help provide us with greater direction and focus when we work on our plans of action for next year. Please answer as an individual responder, even if there are 2 residents in the household. We want each of you to complete a survey. When completing the survey, give yourself plenty of time. 30 minutes should be enough for you to complete the survey. When completing the survey online, remember you cannot save the survey and complete it later. If you start it online and then run out of time or aren't able to complete it, you will have to start over. Each resident should complete their own survey. Couples would complete one for each of you. We strongly encourage you to complete the survey electronically or online. However, paper copies of the survey will be available. We're going to ask you to plan ahead, and if you're doing a paper copy, please fill in the square completely when completing the survey. Why is it important to complete the survey electronically? If you're able to, completing the survey online will automatically submit your answers into a spreadsheet for us, and it automatically calculates the results. If you do it on paper, a member of JKV staff will then need to input your responses, which takes time. As an example, if 190 people completed a paper survey last year, and the survey has 30 questions, there's probably in excess of almost 6,000 inputs that a staff member will be entering, resulting in a delay sharing the results with our residents. The following is an outline of the survey. Background information is on questions 1 through 7. Joe will go through those questions in more detail in a few minutes. Communication services is question 8. Dining services is questions 9 and 10. Activities and events on and off campus are questions 11 and 12. Amenities are questions 13 through 19, which includes the beauty shop, the chapel, spiritual life, the gift shop, Main Street Bank, the gathering place, and the library. Recreational activities is question 20. There's a number of questions in that section. Fitness center is 21. The pools at the center and Jack's Clubhouse are covered in question 22. Healthcare facility and services are covered in questions 24, with Majestic Oaks in questions 25 and 26. Question 25 is a qualifying question. If you didn't use Majestic Oaks, just answer question 25 and there's no need to go on to question 26. Housekeeping services is question 27. From here, you'll start to see a pattern in the questions. These questions tell us how our staff are doing overall, which includes housekeeping, security, transportation, maintenance, grounds, and landscaping, as well as your overall experience. Would you recommend John Knox Village of Central Florida? In question 34, we want your comments and suggestions. You'll notice that there's a question 33. In question 33, if you don't recommend us, please tell us why you would not recommend us. Knowing why you would not recommend is just as important as knowing why you would recommend us. From here, Joe Trainer is going to take over reviewing the survey and how to complete each section.
As we move on to the survey, these are the first 5 questions. This just provides us background information of where you are in our where you are in our life plan community. Have you been here 1 to 3 years? You've been here greater than 20 years. Age range, male, female, you live alone or you live with another resident, and where do you live? A villa, cottage, or an apartment? Volunteering. We talk a lot about volunteering. We like to track people that volunteer both inside the village, volunteering for the betterment of the residents of John Knox Village, and outside the village. Maybe perhaps you volunteer at the hospital as a candy striper. Maybe you volunteer at the reception desk at a hospital, or maybe another not-for-profit. You spend some time and you volunteer for them. We like to know that. We like to know, as John Knox Village and having 800 plus residents on campus, what kind of impact do we have on the Orange City area? It's not just Orange City, it's DeLand, Deltona, DeBerry, and Orange City. Communication services. You can see question 8, there are a number of boxes we want you to fill. For each line, we only want you to fill in 1 box. For example, if you don't ever look at Village Life or you don't know what Village Life is, you never use it, just blacken that box and there's no reason to fill in the satisfaction scale. The same would be if you will say that you don't go to the monthly coffee withs. If you've never attended, if you don't know what a coffee with is, we wouldn't expect you to give us a satisfaction score in there. And again, you would only fill in 1 box for it, but it ranges from many, if not most of the communication methods that we use: Village Life, Village Weekly, the bulletin boards, the activity calendar, John Knox TV, the portal, Village Friends, our monthly coffee with, all the way down to our Village Alert line. Those are all important because those are all means of communications that we have with you. Question 9, dining services. We're asking you for your overall satisfaction. If you don't go to the Treetop Lounge, we would expect that you would color in, you would check you never attend Treetop Lounge. The same with the other dining venues that we have. Other than that, we want to know, are you very satisfied, dissatisfied, or very dissatisfied? This is one of those where if you're dissatisfied or very dissatisfied, we'd really like you to use the comment section. Refer to question 9 and let us know why you're very satisfied. We'll just say it is JJ's Dining. If you're very dissatisfied with that, we want to know. Now, the other part is also true, is if you're very satisfied with something and that you think we do extremely well, we want to know that too, because we'd like to do more of that and to see if we can establish that. We know we're not perfect, but we work very hard at providing a high level of satisfaction for our residents. Question 10. This is where you get to break down your overall satisfaction with dining services. The other one was specifically the dining venues. This is the appearance of the food, the variety of the menu, your dietary needs, the quality and quantity, food quality and quantity, food presentation, the service quality of our staff, and employee courtesy, hours of operation. We want to know, again, if you're dissatisfied or very dissatisfied, we'd like to know why you're very dissatisfied. Question 10, specifically to off-campus events. If you haven't been off campus for a dining trip or the theater, again, you never attended, you've not done that, we ask that you color that box never attended. Otherwise, we want to know. We want to do more of the things that satisfy our residents and less of the things that really, quite honestly, irritate you. So this is off campus, and then it's followed up with on campus. We've worked very hard in the last year to bring greater amounts of entertainment to you. If you haven't been to Chef's Table, again, never attended, that's a qualifying question. You're going to move on from that question. You're not going to put never attended a Chef's Table and then say you're even very satisfied. Well, I'd like to hear that. If you've never attended, you don't truly know what your satisfaction level is. We want our residents to be very compassionate about how they feel about John Knox Village of Central Florida. And we care about what you have to say. Amenities and services. I've kind of shortened this up a little bit. This is question 13 is the beauty shop. What's your overall satisfaction with the beauty shop? Now on this, on the paper survey, you'll notice that never used is offset. This is offset for a purpose. Because if you color in that you've never used the beauty shop and you color in never used, you don't have to answer, nor do we expect you to answer those other questions because you haven't had that experience. So you'll notice on the paper copy that the services, the amenities, if you haven't used it, instead of going all the way down the line, we've offset the never used box, color that in. If you have, ignore the never used box, and please give us your feedback and your opinion, suggestions on your satisfaction level for the beauty shop, appearance, space adequacy, equipment, service quality, and types of services offered. Corner gift shop. This is the same process. If you've never used it, if you're satisfied with it, please share that. Additionally, the chapel, what's your overall level of satisfaction with the chapel, appearance and space adequacy, spiritual life, library. Now you'll notice there will be 2 questions in regards to the library. One will be the spiritual life library, and the other is the regular library that is in the Barker Center. The questions are a theme, they're a pattern, very, very easy to predict. Appearance, the adequacy of space, do you have enough space, and the service quality. Does it fulfill your needs for what you want to use it for? Again, if it doesn't, let us know why. Main Street Bank. Main Street Bank is a provider for us. They're not related, but we share with them because we want to make sure that we give them feedback on how our residents feel about them. And I know from previous surveys, residents think Main Street Bank has done a phenomenal job, and I believe they have. But if you don't use Main Street Bank, again, never used. The questions, again, are very, very predictable. Appearance, space, and service quality. The gathering place, everybody knows where the gathering place is as you come from the come to Citrus parking lot and come through the door. Gathering place is right there on the left-hand side, and that's right next to the Scoop. So if you get ice cream, you know where the gathering place is. Amenities. Again, this is the library. This is the regular library and the Barker Center. This is not the Spiritual Life. There are 2 libraries if you didn't know that. So if you've not used it, you've missed out because the library committee does a great job, makes sure that they put in a lot of publications and a lot of books that are bestsellers and things for residents to read. So please make sure that you, if you haven't ever used the library, please go visit and check it out. Recreational activities. This is going to take a little bit of time because there are actually a number of questions because we want to know what your overall level of satisfaction is with each of these. The putting green, if you've not used the putting green, again, we would expect you never to use. What we don't want you to do is just skip this whole range of questions if you're doing a paper survey. So if you said, I don't use any of these things and then just skip the question, what we'd ask you to do is just color in never use. that goes with the shuffleboard courts and the bocce ball courts, croquet courts, tennis courts, pickleball courts, the card room, billiards, ping pong, and the hobby shop. And I think we've covered most of those things. The facilities, the fitness center. This is where if you do exercise class with Helena, this is where you would, whether it's an exercise class or a dance class, equipment, the fitness centers, we want to know about both. We don't deviate from either one. So if you use the fitness center at the Jackwes Clubhouse or you use the fitness center in the Commons building, we just want to know what you feel about our fitness centers. Again, if you don't use them, but we have 2 fitness centers to increase reticence and satisfaction, because some of the surveys that we received last year, some of the people really liked the fitness center in the Commons because they like to hear the metal plates banging. I gotta be honest with you, I like hearing the metal plates bang too, but the equipment over at the clubhouse, at the Jackwes Clubhouse, is also very, very good equipment. And the pools, what's your overall satisfaction level with the pools, the exercise class, individual use. Individual use would be any use that you do, whether you swim laps or you just play around in a pool or whatever you may do in that particular area. And then Central Bark. I know the Central Bark is currently underwater, and I know somebody is not using it, but we want to know what your opinion is on that. Central Bark, again, is the dog park that is underwater. It's next to the Barker Center. Unfortunately, it's underwater. Healthcare facilities and services. There are a number of questions here also. Now, I know not everybody is going to have a satisfaction level on these because some of you don't use that. For example, you may not have used home health services. Home health services includes either private or Medicare home health services. It is just not limited to the private or Medicare. It's either one or both. The resident nurse, and that's a medical response. Visiting physician services, those are visiting physician services normally at Oak Park in the clinic. The nurse practitioner and clinic services, outpatient therapy, and pharmacy services. If you haven't used pharmacy services, if you don't know who Mitch is and you haven't used the pharmacy services, again, color in you've never used. Proud of the services that we offer, and we want to continue to enhance those services so more of our own residents utilize those services. Utilizing those services helps keep you more independent, and believe it or not, also keeps you healthier. That is our goal. Our philosophy is to allow people to age in place, but aging in place doesn't mean that you age in place without any additional services. That's why we consider ourselves a full service CCRC, continuing care retirement community, or / life plan community, because all these additional services that we offer. Most communities do not offer these additional services. However, we do. Now, again, a qualifying question. This is specific to Majestic Oaks. Have you had a stay at Majestic Oaks in the past 12 months? So from November, December of last year to this year, have you had a stay? If you haven't, it tells you, block in the notes. If no, please skip to Section 8, Housekeeping Services, and question 7. If you color in yes, that's a qualifying question, and we want you to fill it out. Why do we have it this way? Because the electronic version of this asks you the same question. Have you had a stay at Majestic Oaks in the past 12 months? If you click yes, it takes you to question 26. If you click no, it takes you by question 26 and takes you right to question 27. That's why this is set up this way. It's easy for duplication. It's easy for us to be able to get our statistics together and put our data together. So it's important that you answer the qualifying question. If you put an overall satisfaction level of Majestic Oaks and you don't answer the question, we have no idea whether you really had to stay at Majestic Oaks or not. And we want to know. We work very hard in skilled nursing. Majestic Oaks is highly rated, not only among the state, but nationally. And that is important to us. We want to make sure that indeed we give the best care possible. So we want to know how you feel about Majestic Oaks. Housekeeping services. This is where there is a bunch of duplication. The questions follow a natural pattern now. There is scheduled cleaning and quality, very satisfied to very dissatisfied. If you're not satisfied, again, we want to know why. We want you to go down to the comment section and we want you to share that with us. Annual cleaning quality, housekeeping department responsiveness. If you've asked for something from housekeeping, how responsive and how quickly are they? And employee courtesy. That is, and you'll notice that employee courtesy is on every one of these questions. We try to hire the best available staff for what we do, and we believe we have gotten a good fair share of great employees. We're happy with the quality of our employees, and we try to continue to improve their skill set and improve their ability to respond, and we hope you notice that. Question 28. What's your overall satisfaction with security services? Again, particularly the gatehouse, patrol, emergency responsiveness, and employee courtesy. Transportation services. What is your overall satisfaction level with transportation services? This is one of those questions. The overall is, what is the ease of scheduling? What is the pickup schedule? Do they confirm your pickup schedule? Driver safety, vehicle comfort and cleanliness, trip confirmation, and employee courtesy. We typically, in the past, we had this question split into two between inter-village transportation and out-of-the-village transportation. What we believe, we wanted to do is just combine those questions, because some people only use inter-village transportation, some use only out-of-village transportation. We want to use, if you use our transportation services, we want to know how we're doing. Maintenance services, work orders completed in a timely manner. I can tell you that our goal is to have 80% of our work orders that can be completed within a 48 to 72 hour time frame. That's 80% of the work orders that we get within 48 to 72 hours completed. Now, there's some where we have to order parts, some are a little bit more labor intensive, but we try to have that. That is the goal that we have. And as time goes by, we try to reduce that time frame or increase the time frame of making it 90% or 80% within less than 36 hours. But that is our current goal for that. So we want to know, are you satisfied in regards to maintenance services, the service quality, and again, employee courtesy. Grounds and landscaping. This is another one of those questions that we had combined. We had the commercial buildings versus the residential buildings. We just combined it all into one. We want to know what your overall satisfaction is with grounds and landscaping services. We talk about landscaping generally, then we focus on tree plant and plant bed care, the responsiveness of the grounds department, and employee courtesy. 32. This is the question we like to always focus on is, would you recommend John Knox Village of Central Florida? Yes or no? It's important to us that you would. And if you don't recommend John Knox Village of Central Florida, why would you not recommend John Knox Village of Central Florida? That's what question 33. If no, we ask you to please explain, and please take a moment. You'll notice that there's an asterisk on that question. That is a question that we really want you to answer. There's an asterisk on the first 7 questions, and then there's an asterisk on question 32, 33. If you don't recommend John Knox Village of Central Florida, we want to know why. But even if you do recommend John Knox Village of Central Florida, we'd like to know why. We work very hard, and we've made some great strides and great progress. And we want to make sure, we want you to notice that. And if you haven't, what do we need to do to assist with that? Then question 34 is please feel free to leave any comments or suggestions regarding areas of the survey or topics that may not have been covered. If you have an individual item and you want to put it in there, please feel free to do so. Leaving comments isn't just leaving negative comments. Leaving comments can be positive comments. We love to hear positive comments. Whether it's positive or negative, we share it with our staff. We share it with them, and we put together a plan of action to be able to address our areas of concern. We frequently talk about what is the percentage that we're looking for. We talk about that at survey results, so we're not going to discuss that here. But we want you to leave your comments. Leaving comments and suggestions gets more done than you just telling us you're satisfied or dissatisfied with something, because it explains to us in detail how you feel about that. And that's what we want. We want you to feel passionate about John Knox Village. We want you to love where you're living. And we want to know why. Because if you're happy, you're likely to go ahead and recommend somebody else to come and see John Knox Village, who might next be your future neighbor. We thank you for your time today. This is the last area that we have to cover. We hope you take the time to complete a survey. We would love to see 100% of people complete a survey, and we'd love to see 100% of the people complete a survey online. If you'd like to try to complete a survey online instead of doing paper, let us know, and we can work and get you set up in a room where you're able to go ahead and complete the survey online. Somebody can be able to assist you. Again, the more people that complete the survey provides us better information, and the more people that do it online gives us a quicker turnaround. If we get a lot of paper surveys, it's going to take a little bit of time to compile that information. I would rather hear from you, even if it's paper, than not hear from you. So please complete a survey.